episode 38 of Spiritual Conversations. My name is Candace Sanderson from Naples, Florida. And with me from across the U.S. is my co-host,
Carrie Palmer from near Seattle, Washington.
Carrie. I don't know why, but for some reason, I've put on my philosopher's hat and I started thinking about these basic questions about life. Who am I? Why am I here? You know, I felt like I was like back in college taking philosophy like 101. And then I was thinking about something that you said actually the other day when we recorded. You said, well, wherever you go, there you are. You know, you can't get away from yourself. And then I thought, or can you? And then it goes back to this cycle. I keep thinking, well, maybe you can. It depends on how you define who you are. Now, in my past, I used to think that I was this physical body, you know, this body that didn't always like getting up quite so early, or this body that craved sunset so I could go to bed and get some sleep. But everything is a matter of perspective. We can change our lives by changing the way we view life. When I started communicating with the non-physical back in 2013, my whole life changed. And I ended up getting some, clarity and purpose. And I knew, now there's that word again, Carrie, I didn't believe.
You knew.
I knew I had an experience. I had a knowing that there was much more to life than what my physical senses measured. So as I tapped into the realm of angels and guides, ascended masters, cosmic beings, star beings, I began to realize how small my life was. But on the flip side of that coin, it was also apparent that no matter how small my life was, I found out that I mattered. You know, if you talk to people who have had near-death experiences, they come back knowing that they're more than what they thought they were. Yeah. They know that their lives are important. Well, we can do the same thing, Carrie. We can embrace that knowledge. We don't have to have a near-death experience. You know, I've had so many, what I found out now are called STEs, spiritually transformative experiences. But I've had so many of them since my opening. I didn't even know it was called that until I read a book last summer called Touched by the Light, a book by a Canadian medical doctor, Yvonne Case. She's the one that coined that phrase, spiritually transformative experiences. And your near-death experiences are actually a subset of an STE. So it's like, thank goodness you don't have to die or almost die to know that there's more to life than meets the eye. Yeah. But once you've had a taste of that, the taste of the divine, you begin to see the larger picture. The first step is to know that there is a larger picture. And as I've mentioned many times, the messengers have told me that Earth is transforming. She's evolving to higher vibrational frequencies. So what does that mean for us? Those basic questions about life, who am I? Why am I here? You know, what is life all about? We end up getting clarity. We end up realizing that we can understand things better because we see the fuller picture. We know that there's compassion in life, purpose and knowledge. We know that the veils are lifting, and it's allowing us, common folk, to see for the first time, really see what is important in life. We are not our physical bodies. We are part of this divine entity of life, which is everything. There really is nothing more than just love. And if we don't see it that way, it's because we have a blockage of fear or something that's preventing us from stepping into who we really are. So, whew.
Wow. It just still kills me that I am aware, I know, you know, but so many people, it's like, how can you not know, or how do you not want to know? um, you and I both watched something recently that explained this to me a little bit, that really I was excited to see, because there are those people who are so very left brained, and that they are so, it's like, why would you want to expand consciousness? I'm like,
Right.
why
Why
would you not?
not?
I mean, it's like, why would you not want to be bigger and better than you are? No more, expand. I mean, that's part of life in general. Even if you don't know
Yeah.
what we know, you want growth as a human. You want to, you
Mhm.
want to always up your game. You want to always grow throughout your life. And to know that there's actually people out there that are so perfectly content in their little human worlds that they think that that's enough. It's like
Right.
you just want to go, wake up. It's like
Right.
you are missing out on magnitudes of, it's, I mean, just when you know what we know, and it's like, I don't have the experiences you have to see all the stuff you've seen, but I know because I've received downloads, I've received information, everything that's guided me on my path, that has made my insanely crazy, multiple faceted life incredible, because it's
Yeah.
taken me from horrible things to freaking amazing things. And I know
Right.
it's just getting better because we can do anything we want. We are unlimited beings. And
Absolutely.
we haven't even,
It's
you and I haven't tapped into our capabilities yet, not even at
right.
all. There's so much more we can be
Right.
doing, but it's just, it's unfathomable as a human. It really is. But yeah, pretty profound stuff.
We have choice. We have the freedom of choice. We can choose what we want to be. We can choose whatever we want about our lives. Remember, I think it was 2 episodes back, we were talking about choosing a spiritual path. And, someone started a question, I think it was on one of your Facebook pages, like, how do I know if I'm on a spiritual path? And that was so profound to me that I ended up doing another episode on my other YouTube channel about spiritual paths of wisdom. And we are all on a spiritual path. As soon as you're born in this on Earth 101, we start learning. And that's when our spiritual path begins. However, most of us don't realize that this is a place where we learn. Some people are very contented to be in that day to day life. I go to work, I come home, I eat dinner, I go to bed, I get up, rinse and repeat.
Yep.
But
Retire at
there,
this age, do this, work around the
yeah,
house, do landscaping, and then, okay, I'm going to die now. It's like, okay,
yeah.
there was my life.
I mean, it's all mapped out. This is what you do from point A to point B.
Because
And th-
everybody's done it before, and this is the way it's done. So this is what you need to do. We
and
all follow in the grooves.
and that's fine if that's what you're called to do. But if you take the opportunity to just stop, take a deep breath, all that chatter that goes on in your brain, let it just dissipate, let it just disappear. And when that happens, start listening to that inner voice that calls you, because that inner voice is the voice of spirit, the voice of your angels. And that is where your true guidance will occur. You realize those questions, those fundamental questions like, why on earth am I here? You can start getting answers to those questions. And when you look at the entire universe, you might think you're just so insignificant. I'm just one little person with all these billions of people around. But you know what? You have a purpose in this life, and that is important. It's like if you have this huge machine, like I have a grandfather's clock, and when I, take the top and I out of it when they come to service it, and you look at all the cogs that are turning, this one turns that, which turns another. They're all interconnected. And if you were to remove a little tiny screw or one of those cogs, the
Hi, Jen.
entire right, the entire machine breaks down. Well, that's kind of what consciousness is like. That's one way that I see it. We are all cogs in this, and our role is very important. If we stop or choose to do something different, it's going to change the makeup of everything. So never doubt your importance, because you are important. But if you're starting to wake up and ask questions like in Philosophy 101, why am I here? What's important with life? what's my spiritual path, then know that you have sparked something that comes deep from within.
Right.
And think of it as a little light down a path that you can follow. If you start following that path, you'll realize that there are many other paths that you may take on this little road. And it gets you out of that routine of getting up, doing the same thing day after day after day. And it allows you to actually grow spiritually.
Yeah. And it's interesting because like the people that I know that I'm surrounded by in my little human existence here. Um, there's not one person I know anywhere around here that's even had the inkling of curiosity about it yet. Um,
Yet.
yeah, yeah, and that's just it. But it's like you and I both, I mean, you and I've known, I've always known I'm not my body. And I didn't know why I knew it. I've always, just little things that have happened through my life that have, it's like, I've just always known that I am separate from this. It's like, this is just my body, that there's something much bigger than me that's guided me. And then it was literally though, until I found that first book on spirituality that I really didn't know how to define it. I had no way to define it. But I mean, the breadcrumb trail took me to that first book and the
Right.
rest is just history. But just looking at so many other people, it's like they get so involved. And it has a lot to do with stuff like this these days, the
Right.
technology that you've got to put that down. You've got to not always have something going. But that's why I think a lot of other openings might be delayed a lot because a lot of people I know, like everybody in my immediate family, that thing is everything. And if it's not going, there's music going, there's something going that doesn't let that opening. It's like you're being like, hello, hello. You're
Right.
like your
Right.
higher
Right.
self
It's
just
like,
like saying, hello, pay attention. I'm trying to get a hold of you. I'm trying to get a hold. And it's like, la, 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 I can't hear you. It's like, I don't know if they'll ever hear because technology has advanced so much to where it's shutting people out. I do believe, and I've asked my pendulum this, that, somebody that I know very nearby is going to have an opening. I'm told will have an opening. And so I'm like,
oh, good.
okay, okay. um, I mean, I'd be curious to see when, if, and how it happens. Because, I know it's there for all of us, but just give yourself some time in nature quietly. Just
Right.
be silent because just shut
But
your mind off.
right. If you could really embrace silence every day, even if it's just for 2 or 3 minutes, you will find a stillness from within will create the perfect space for messages to come to you. They may not be words that drop into your awareness, it might just be a feeling. But we're all
Or a gut
prone.
knowing to do something.
Yes,
It's
yes.
like, why do
But
I want to do that?
this is part of Mother Earth's transition. Our Earth is transitioning to higher vibrational frequencies. And as she does that, those veils between the dimensions, those dimensional barriers, will start to fade. And so it's allowing more wisdom to come in. So someone like me who just had this surprise, spontaneous opening, there are more and more people like that because the conditions are there. The conditions are there now for us to start hearing those gentle whispers from our angels and from our guides.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to take to wake people up that just seem so blinded and just so convinced that this is it, that this is all there is. Because yeah, well, there's so much more. And to me, it's like I know with my story, it's like it's my duty to share my story, and that's why I know I have to get it out there. Because if it affects one person, that's
Right,
that cog. It's like that person affects something, and then they affect something. It keeps trickle down. It keeps going and going.
right,
It's like you just
right.
put that drop in and watch it go. It's like I know my duty is to share my story. You're sharing your experiences. We are all here to do it, and we pre-planned this stuff to wake up at some point and do what we're here to do. But
Right,
until we
right.
until we wake up, it's like just gonna go about our everyday business like Eeyore.
I like Eeyore. But
I know.
wouldn't it be great if the phone towers went down, not for businesses that really needed it, but just on a personal level, where it would force others to just like go within. But part of everything that's happened with COVID is part of that spiritual awakening of us as members of Earth. We have choices to make because our lives have changed. And depending on what perspective we choose to look at these lives, we can go in a different direction. we can stay away from technology or at least put it on hold in order to listen to true wisdom from within. And
Yep.
then going back to our philosophy 101, we can get answers to those questions that humans have asked for years and years and years, hundreds of years. But
And
it's
it's
up to us.
amazing the stuff we get. Yeah, it's like it's such
Yeah.
good stuff. When we open up to it and you start realizing the magnitude of how big we are and what we are capable of, we may be tiny little people at 5'3", but we are the most powerful. It's just we all are so powerful, and just together, it's like the more that wake up, the more that get this information. It's just
Mhm.
it's so contagious. But yeah, it's just we just obviously want to share it with everybody, but not everybody's ready to hear it.
Nope, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
But one day they will be, and let's hope it's soon.
Yep. If not, they're gonna know eventually.
Yes, they will. Yes, they
Like I've
will.
always said, it's like I may not have out of body experiences right now, but I'm guaranteed one, and I
That's
will have
right. Yeah, without a doubt. So this is a good note to end on. We hope you enjoyed the episode. We certainly, Carrie and I love doing these. We have so much fun. So
So
until next time,
time.
please subscribe, share, like, and be true to yourself. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.